Welcome to Healing Your Family Legacy, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. Innovative, evidence-based recovery that helps to identify intergenerational trauma, allowing for freedom and embracement of the healing process. Today, episode 159, The Unwritten Social Rules, Part 2. And now your host, Dr. Donna Bevan-Lee.
This is Heal Your Family Legacy. I'm Dr. Donna Bevan-Lee, and welcome to my show. I had a fun time last time reading from BuzzFeed about the rules, the social rules that we've adopted these over time, and some of them are even laws now. About how it's like. This person talked about social graces. These aren't social graces. These are, some of these are really important rules. And after I was finished with this, because it's something that I don't usually do, but I think that sometimes people say important things on news feeds and everything that I think can be shared. And this is one of them. But after I was finished, I said to Dave, my producer, you've all heard of Dave, and he's a wonderful guy, and I've even had him on my show. He said that he got lost listening to this because, it's like, it's so important, and all these things would get your attention, right? But he said something that really made me think, and what he said was that some of these are really the litmus test of human decency. And I agree with him. The one he mentioned was the shopping cart. It's like when there is no consequence for not doing it and no praise if you do it, will you do it? Okay? The shopping cart is one of those litmus tests. I think there are others too, but you think about that. And think about it in terms of what I've been talking about, trying to be a functional adult. It's like, do you have to try that hard? You're a functional adult. That means that you are making decisions about what you say and what you do. And are you going to be a responsible, decent human being and care for the other human beings around you, care for one another. And this shopping cart thing really is a litmus test. No consequences for not doing it and no praise for doing it. Are you going to do it and just care about other people in the world? Okay? Because like you said, I don't know much. I'm on the West and he's on the East Coast, but so we have Costco. I don't know if y'all have Costco out there, but anyway, Costco, perfect example. Costco has bigger shopping carts because you're buying big box stuff, right? Not big box stuff. You're buying more. You're buying more when you go in there. It's like, I'm not buying a power bar. I'm buying a box of power bars, so I've got to have a bigger cart. Anyway, so we've all driven into a parking lot that's very crowded most of the time. We go to pull into one of the empty spaces, and there's a shopping cart. And it's like you just sit there and you think, why didn't they put that cart away? Why didn't they take it to one? This person, I don't know where they came from, but 2 cars over is one of those shopping cart corrals. What would it have taken for them to take that shopping cart, move it 2 things over into that shopping corral so that someone, say like me, could park in this parking place? It's just part of that social agreement that we have as functional adults to care for one another and to care for our society. And then when Dave was talking about that, I thought about littering. Littering is to me one of the ultimate litmus tests of how we care for each other, care about each other, and care for our planet. I just, like, are we still having this conversation about whether or not to throw our trash onto the side of the road? How about our trash into the river, into the ocean? We produce so much trash anyway that putting it into a garbage can, a barrel, keeping it in our own house until the garbage guy comes and takes it away. What are we doing to this beautiful planet that we live on if we can't pick up after ourselves and put trash into something where trash is supposed to be? Now, like I said before, I'm one of those odd ducks that carries a trash bag around with me most of the time when I remember. But I remember a lot. Okay. It used to be when I walked to work, because now, well, I don't need to walk to work. But when I used to walk to work in order to get to my office so I could work every day, I always had a trash bag because I couldn't believe how much trash every single day on my way to work and on my way back from work, I put trash in the trash bag. And on the way to work, I'd pick up trash on my way, on the sidewalk, on the lawns, on the everything, that I'd walk by. I'd put all that trash in the trash bag. There was enough in that 2-mile walk to work where I'd have to empty that trash bag when I got to work. And then I couldn't believe it, but I walked the same way back from work, and I'd fill that trash bag again. That's how much trash people are just throwing out their window or leave. What? What are we doing? This whole BuzzFeed was about being a good citizen, not just with each other, but to the planet. It's like when people start forest fires on purpose. I know that's a law. All these, it's like littering is a law. There will be harmful consequences, but has anybody ever known of anybody that got a ticket for littering? Do you know anybody? Dave? I never have. And so it's really more about, okay, so there's a law about it, but I've never known anybody that, has gotten a ticket and had to pay that fine that's supposed to be really big. Nobody I know has ever gotten a ticket either. And so it really is about, will you do something? There's no consequence for not doing it, and there's no praise for doing it. Are you going to do it anyway because it's the right thing to do? It's how we take care of each other. It's how we take care of our planet. I see walking on the beach what we've done to our oceans. That is, everything I've read says that oceans are one of the ways that we know how much time we have left before we've completely destroyed the planet, that we can't live on anymore because we've destroyed it. Birds don't, poop in their own nest. We don't seem to care. So I don't need to keep talking about this, but it's still happening all the time. I hope, if I offend somebody for saying pick up your own trash, I don't want to pick it up. I don't want to see it. I don't think the earth deserves to have it. to somehow, I go way up high in the mountains. I can't tell you the impact that someone's orange peel has on the planet. Do you know how long it takes for that orange peel to break down? Longer than you're alive. Just because it's organic doesn't mean that it's going to break down and be usurped back into the planet. If it's like on almost all signs when you go on a trail into the wilderness, pack it in, pack it out. That's everything. I think that when you're a person that goes that far into the wilderness, you don't find crap in there. You don't. I don't. I mean, when I see orange pills or someone's water bottle on the trail, I know that, I'm not very far into the wilderness because they're too damn lazy to go anyway. Sorry. People who are aware do it. So I kind of went through these really fast, but I think I'm going to go through them again for you to really think about the end where somebody just, it's like, who was it? Who wrote these is you/comfortable ease 3040. I thought these were really good things that you can think about if you want to make sure that you are being a good citizen, if you want to be the person who does the right thing just because it's the right thing or because you're caring for your other human beings or your fellow citizens or the earth. Okay? Be situationally aware when you're in public places. That's a good place. I mean, that's something that's new because when I was young, we just didn't have that many people. We didn't. I mean, even in New York, which is a very crowded place. I've been there several times. I love New York. But, it's like it is, to be situationally aware in New York means that you're not going to get slammed down or you're not going to get tripped up or something because it's just a lot of people. Be situationally aware in public places. How do you do that? You think about, where am I standing? If you are, say, waiting for your doctor to call you back and you see your phone's ringing and you see that it's your doctor, you just step aside. Or you think, they'll leave a message, I can pick this up later. But you don't just stop in the middle of everything and answer the phone. People might actually run into you if you're in a crowded space. And then, of course, you're going to be mad at them for running into you. Hello? I'm not, I might be situationally aware, but I'm not paying attention to whether or not you're answering the phone necessarily because I might be paying attention to what's going on in my little world. Meaning I'm thinking about what I'm doing. So you think about, where am I standing? What is around me? That's a good thing to do. I went to Gay Pride Day in my town, in my city, last summer. And because there had been threats, they had, the strangest thing. It's like, before you went there, you had to go through where they detect whether or not you have a gun. It's like, if there was any question, they would, frisk you. You had to open your pack or your purse or whatever. It was like getting on a plane, to go to fly somewhere. They had, net all around the thing. So like you couldn't just walk in, you had to go over this netted fence. And then they had security guards all the way around. Now, when I'm talking about what's around me, so if I notice that this is all happening, I think it's a safe assumption to say that there has been some kind of threat. Because, listen, I'm 73 years old. I've been to Gay Pride in San Francisco, Seattle, New York. I've been, and I've never seen it like that. But because I'm aware of what's around me, I'm thinking, if I am a person that's in this today, I'm going to be aware that there's obviously been a threat. So I might make sure that my behavior is not way out there in some, way out there someplace, even if I think it's my right to act, to behave, say whatever I want to say. I'm aware of where I am. And, traveling, same thing. If I'm in a foreign country, I need to be aware of what's around me and where I am. To make sure that I am safe, but also to be a good citizen. Okay? That means I'm taking care of others. I'm being aware of how it's, how things are going and whether or not I need to leave. Am I in someone's way or about to be in someone's way? Well, sometimes you can't help it. So if I'm in someone's way, I would say, excuse me, I don't know what to do right now. I'm standing in a crowd. I'm in your way. I'm trying to move. Please be patient. Look at the person I'm talking to. If I'm talking to somebody, I want to make sure that they're invested in what I'm saying. If they're bored, if they're busy or annoyed. Now, with this podcast, I don't know what you're doing. I can see what Dave's doing, but I don't know what you're doing. And, because we all at least have these kind of boundaries. If you're bored or if you're busy or you're annoyed at what I'm saying, you can turn it off. All right? If you're bothered or annoyed by the fact that I've been an out gay person for, most of my life, then don't invite me to dinner. It's okay. I'm good. But it doesn't make any difference if I'm not being offensive. And I know what offensive means, okay? I would check my, what I'm saying. Make sure that, like if I'm around children, I'm certainly not going to say certain words or refer to certain situations because they would either be freaked out or they would go home and say the same words. And, it's like, be aware. But also, if I'm being a good citizen, I know that if I'm around children, I need to behave and respect them. Their little minds might not be able to understand what I'm saying. And it might scare them. Looking at the people around me, am I having a private conversation in front of the world? And if I am, is it a matter of life and death that I'm having it? The rest of the time, if I'm having a private conversation in front of the world, I need to hang up, say goodbye, or say, can we take this up later? You can't unhear something. You can't unsee something. And so if I'm being a good citizen and I'm caring about other people in the world, I'm being aware of what I'm saying when I'm in public or when I'm around other people. Can I call back when I'm not in public instead of answering? My motto is, if it's that important that you are telling me something, you'll leave me a voice message saying, please call me back. And if it's not that important, you're not going to tell me to call you back. So I don't need to have that conversation in public. I need to be paying attention to what I'm doing in public. And if I'm answering the phone and I'm in a crowded room, that is not caring for other people. That's just me being self-absorbed. Oh, it's all about me, all about me, all about me. It isn't. Am I being too loud or disruptive for other people? Well, we talked about this smile and laughing thing. If somebody has just said something that I think is hysterical before I can even control it, I'm laughing about as loud as I'm going to be. It's like, again, if I have control over it, if I have a minute to think about it, and if it's not a reaction, it's like, then I just need to be aware, am I being loud or disruptive? And if I am, I need to get out of the way. And if it's because I'm high or drunk, which I don't get high or drunk, but, if I'm high or drunk, it's like my friends need to help me out with that too. I always just say, you don't need to be drunk in public. Your judgment's gone out the window, and you could cause a lot of problems for yourself and others. That's the next one. Am I drunk or high? Meaning I'm not going to be a good judge when to put a lid on it. You will save yourself from breaking many rules, hurting many people, including yourself, by making yourself think. I like it. They put think in capital letters. THINK. Think about where you are and what you're doing, and is it appropriate to your setting and your audience. It's not as hard as you might think. These are such basic rules. And it really isn't hard to do. When you think about it, I can put my trash in a trash receptacle. They're everywhere. I remember, it's like sometimes there are consequences, okay? I mean, most people that live in the West anyway know that if you are in the forest or up in the mountains, you don't leave food in your car. Why is that? Because bears can smell everything. And bears will rip your car apart getting to that food. I remember when I was in my mid to late 40s, probably about 45 or 46, the first time I ever climbed up Mount Whitney, which is the highest peak in the lower 48 states. It's like about 15,000 feet. It's higher than Mount Rainier, and it's in the southern part of the Sierra Nevada mountains. And there are two ways up. You can go up the west side, which takes a long time because I've also climbed up from the west side, and that took many, many days. Or you can climb up the east side, which is, on the west side, it's kind of a gradual, and so you're just on the trail a long, long time. On the east side of Mount Whitney, it's pretty much a straight up. You're going up 11 miles straight up with a lot of switchbacks, but it's still straight up, okay? And there's a sign up when you're going up the east side anyway, because you park your car in a parking lot. And even if you're a great hiker, it takes 3 days to go up and down. So your car's in the parking lot for 3 days. Big sign. Do not leave food, gum, toothpaste, dental floss, smells a certain way. Leave nothing in your car that somebody would say, oh, gee, the sign doesn't say that, but it's like it gives a whole list of things not to leave in your car. And it says, because bears are around here, and they are. So the day that I went up the east side of Mount Whitney, oh, man, that's a hard hike. So, backpack on the back, with all the food and everything for 3 days, going up. Up the car, came back. I couldn't believe it. There was a car, like 3 cars down from where we were, and it was trashed. I mean, there were pieces of that car, pieces of the, their seats and everything laying all over the place. And I don't know what that bear found in there, but somebody didn't notice that sign. Or they just, what I know, unless you're illiterate, you can usually read those signs. Because even if you're illiterate, they have little pictures on them now. But, again, it's like we need to be aware of what we're doing, where we are. Even if, there are no bears around and you're on a backpack, you don't need to, leave your food laying everywhere. You don't need to leave your trash everywhere. If you are aware and you're a functional adult, meaning you're taking into account where you're at, who's there, and you are saying, I want to be a good citizen. I want to care for my other humans. What am I going to do right now in this situation? And I'll tell you something about all of this, because I try and do this. I mean, I practice what I preach. People know this about me. You feel better about yourself, too. Well, you take that cart and you put it in the cart corral. Just for a second, you feel, I'm being a good citizen now. Good for me. You don't need everybody else's approval, but it's good to have your own. And you realize that, when you got off the trail, you had a whole bunch of other people's trash. It might piss you off for a minute, but you know what? You feel good that you have left that place better than you found it. It's a good mantra. Did I leave it better than I found it? And if I did, I can count myself as a good citizen. I hope you can too.
Thank you for listening to Healing Your Family Legacy here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. Healing Your Family Legacy is copyright 2024, Dr. Donna Bevan-Lee, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Croft and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. The SoulWorks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. SoulWorks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the SoulWorks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.